Hi everyone, this is Johnny here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today is a bit special. Today we're going to be talking about wireless noise cancellation headphones. Yes, you heard that right. Noise cancellation headphones. Now this particular product category, well, in recent years it has produced arguably some of the most sought after products within the headphone industry. And the one I have here is over here. Alright, it is the Sony WH-1000XM3. Yes. Now, despite its long tongue twister name, these are actually rated by a lot of people, as the ANC King in 2019 and even in 2020. Which actually, it's quite a title, given the stiff competition we have right now, in the market. We have Bose, we have Microsoft Surface, we have Jabra, we have Sennheiser, and even right now the new one, which is Apple. All right. So now, I bought this headphone at the beginning of September 2020. It's actually when I'm already working from home. And and still, it's actually despite Sony just released the WH-1000XM4, which is the latest one. All right, around the same time when I bought the XM3. All right, in fact, before I actually bought the XM3, I actually tested the product. All right, both the XM3 and the XM4 physically in the Sony store. Before I decided to actually go with the XM3, which actually at that point in time it actually cost me less than $250. All right. Now I've actually been using the Sony XM3 headphones as my daily driver for the past well over 6 months. I mean, from September until now. Now it's actually April. I've been using it for well over 6 to 7 months, which has actually given me a good amount of time to actually test them, extensively and figure out, whether these are still, does it live up to the mark, right? And also whether do they still warrant the title, of one of the best headphones to get in 2021, if we see a good deal, right? Because I actually wear this, just for information, I wear this not just for music. I even wear them extensively for long hours when I'm actually working from home. I'll come to that a little bit later. Now, so, I mean, these are not perfect by any means. I would like to say, the Sony XM3 headphones, they're not perfect. Of course, they have their fair share of issues, which I will be going through with all of you here throughout the course of this video. So, I mean, it's going to be a pretty lengthy video. I mean, because this is generally talking about not only about XM3, but also, is it still worthwhile to get the XM3 today in 2021, whereby there's the XM4, or even there is actually the Apple AirPods Pro, that is the Quiet Comfort, that is the Bose 700, and there is the Surface 3 and Surface 4 are coming out. All right, so yeah, let's go straight in, right? So firstly, I'm going to be talking about the build quality. So I mean, the headphones, they are light, mainly because it's actually constructed out of plastic, as you can see, as you can hear. Okay, it's actually constructed out of plastic, but it's very hard plastic design, right? And of course, soft touch material, which makes them actually feel more premium. The cushion, the headband, alright, and the extension, it actually makes it more premium. And as these are actually over the ear, as you can see from here, it actually covers your ear, right, over your ear. We actually explains the huge ear cups, as you can see from here, the huge ear cups. Alright, now the ear cup padding is actually decent. The headphone is very flexible, as you can see from here. Expand it out. So I mean, if your head is really so big, it's possible, okay? And you can stretch it very wide and it still won't lose its shape. I mean, I've been using this for the past 7 months, no issues at all. The cushion, this part, it sits across the top of the head. You can see from here. Okay, it sits across the top of the head. Alright. The good thing is, it doesn't push down a lot, which is very good. So, you won't feel the top of the head pressure, which you would experience with some headsets, whereby, the cushion isn't very good, the tension is there, it's pressing down the head, and then, when you wear it for long hours, like 1 hour, 2 hours, you start to feel the stress at the top of the head. This doesn't actually give you that stress. Next, now, even though the headband is actually flexible, it doesn't apply a lot of pressure sideways. Now, this is also very important. I mean, when you hear, that's it, it doesn't push in, I think there was some brands, I won't call it, I mean, it's pretty premium as well. It also starts with a J, alright, I won't go on. Alright, it's not very comfortable. But this, it doesn't apply a lot of pressure, it just stays there. So there's not much pressure from the top, there's not much pressure from the side. So it actually makes it very comfortable, alright, to wear it for long hours. Now, I do have to highlight one thing over here, is that if you take a closer look now, the ear cups, the cushion, the cover is actually made of leather. So, I mean, the thing is, when I was wearing it for long hours, it does generate a little bit of heat, around your ears. The area around your ears would feel warm, and if you're like me, who sweat a lot, okay, yeah, I mean, the area around the ear cup will get a bit damp, okay, sorry, alright? For those of you who sweat, I mean, this is something, it will definitely happen when you're wearing for long hours. Alright, now moving on. Now on the left side of the ear cup, you can see the indication here by the L. Okay, on the left side of the ear cup, alright, is where you will actually find the on-off switch. Alright, the on-off switch. Alright, and the on-off switch is also in X. There is also the noise cancellation and ambience, as you can see from here. Okay, so there's two buttons here. One is the on-off button, and the other one is actually the button to activate and deactivate the noise cancellation. So you can switch between what we call now is the noise cancellation mode and then the transparency mode. But I think some brands still want to change it to ambience because it's referring to the environment, the ambience sound. Okay, so there's a toggle, and also there is a stereo headphone jack. I will come into that a little bit later, how I actually make use of this this stereo jack when I'm working from home, alright, when I'm doing my audit period, okay. Then on the right side, what you will see is, of course, the USB input, USB-C input, and of course this is actually the indication, alright, when you're actually charging it, alright. The XM3 headphone actually allows you to listen to your music and enjoy, both wired and wirelessly, alright. So the stereo, it actually comes with its own cable, which is inside this carrying case. It's pretty solid, I'll come to that a bit later. So it actually comes with its own cable, alright, it actually comes with its own cable. So one end, this one, is to go into the headphone. The other one is actually, this part is actually go into your laptop or your PC, or if your smartphone still has a headphone jack, it goes into that. Right? Now the good thing is that when you are on wired mode, you can still activate the noise cancellation. You can still toggle between noise cancellation or ambience or transparency mode, right? You can still on and off. So the noise cancellation, it actually works in both wireless and wired. This is something to take note in case some of you are just worried that once you actually wire it up, the noise cancellation actually doesn't work. It actually still works in wired mode, alright? So it's pretty good, okay? Now next, in terms of control, the XM3 headphones actually relies heavily on touch control, okay? And these are actually found on the both sides of the ear cup, on the left and on the right, okay? And you can actually use it, for volume up, volume down, You can play and pause, or you can skip to the next track. You can go back to the previous track. You can even fast forward, like go back a couple of seconds, and you can also use it to answer phone calls, answer calls, or end a call. All right. So if you're very new to touch control, which is on such a large surface, I would say it actually takes some getting used to. Like for me, I think the first couple of weeks, I was trying to locate the swipe on the right from the back to the front, which is actually for next track. It actually took me a while, and also for swiping from the front to the back, for the previous track, it took me quite a while. But after that, it's very natural. It's just swiping. It's just very natural. Just from here and then swipe forward is the next track. All right. But generally, I like the touch control because it makes me not to interact with my phone that often. I can just put my phone away and I can just interact with my headset, with my headphone, with the XM3 using the touch control to adjust the volume, to adjust the music, etc. That's it, Talking about the ambience or the transparency mode. Now, this is actually a very interesting feature from Sony, okay, whereby you can actually place one hand on the right side. Okay, it means when you're wearing it. Okay, now when you switch on the noise cancellation, let's say for example you just want to have a short conversation, you can just put your palm over the right side of the ear cup and it will actually dim you actually just really bring down the entire audio of the music right down to probably just 1%, and then you actually instantly it will cancel the noise cancellation and let in the ambient sound, so that you can actually have a normal conversation. Let's say for example you walk up to the coffee shop or the kopitiam or the Starbucks and you just want to order latte, just put it here and say, hi sir, what would you like? And say, oh, I'd like to have a flat white takeaway, thank you very much, with no froth, thank you. Okay, and then you just make the payment. But I do have to say that this mode, it doesn't really, I wouldn't really recommend it for long conversation. If you want to have a long conversation, I mean, just double tap for pause, put it down, and you just have a normal conversation. Okay, so this is, of course, this is a very cool feature, but it's not recommended for long conversation. All right. Now, in terms of Bluetooth connectivity, even if you do not use the default, the default Sony Music app, it's very easy to connect with your smartphone. I tried connecting with the Apple iPhone, it's a breeze. I tried connecting with the Android phone, whether it's the Oppo Reno or the Huawei or all the other Samsung phone, it has no issues. It's a breeze. It's like just put it close to the phone and there you go, it's connected. Okay, so it doesn't really need to have much instruction. It will be connected instantly. And of course, subsequently, on the daily basis, whenever I pair it, whenever I'm using it with Bluetooth, this is something that I heard from online, like Reddit and forums and a lot of Facebook groups. It says that, especially for those of us here who are living here in Singapore, you need to use the Safe Entry or the Trace Together app, because you need to have the Bluetooth to be operating as well. You tend to have very intermittent connection. I would like to say that I was using this with my Android, with my Motorola Android phone. I was using it with Oppo Reno. I was using it with Huawei P40. I never had such issues at all. I'm not too sure about all the others. And even when I switch over to iPhone 12 mini, I never had such issues. But the only thing is that, of course, on my part as the end user, I always make sure that all the applications and the necessary firmware and the software, they are always updated to the latest versions. That's on the end user. I'm not too sure about all the others. For those of you who actually have this issue, you may want to voice out your opinion. For me, I've been using a whole variety of phones, including even Samsung Note, even Samsung S20 and S10. I never have such issues at all, okay, regarding this kind of Bluetooth connectivity. Okay, next I'll move on to the active noise cancellation. Now, personally, I feel that the XM3 headphones has some of the best active noise cancellations. in the market right now. I mean, it's period. They are brilliant for filtering out constant background noises, such as the bus engine. When you're in the MRT, etc., etc., the road traffic, all this kind of stuff. But this is no doubt, it's one of the best headsets for anyone who actually travels and commute a lot. Take me for example, like the past couple of months, if those of you who actually been watching my video for quite a while, you will know that I'm actually commuting quite frequently between home and office. So I take the MRT very often, and it's perfect. It blocks out all the sound. But the only thing is that the ANC, if I'm not wrong at this moment, it is not able to filter out sudden bangs, sudden loud bangs, or very sudden abrupt human noises, or sudden sounds, which are not consistent. Okay, like sudden horns or this, it doesn't really filter it out. Okay, it could be also because the ANC technology over here is actually not to block out all the noise for the outside world, but it's really more of to improve and make the entire listening and the overall experience so much better. Okay, less all the ambience and noise. Right. Next, in terms of audio quality, before I go any further, I just to let all of you know that firstly, I'm not an audiophile. I'm not those people who are super into the details, the frequencies and highs and lows. And I'm not into that. The bass and the deeper bass, whatever the sound. I'm not really into that. I'm just a typical person, typical guy, who have all this kind of gadgets and this stuff. I don't really go into so deep into such stuff. But I'll have to say, it's generally in terms of audio quality, the music quality is great. But if you're a sound freak or if you're an audiophile, I would say stay away from the XM3 headphones, because they are not what you're looking for. Alright, but for me personally, these headphones, they have been absolutely great. As I'm a casual music listener, so yeah, he has been able to give me a very great listening experience when I'm actually commuting and traveling between home and work, or when I'm going long distances. Alright, now in terms of microphone quality, now it's pretty contradicting. The thing is that the XM3, they actually comes in with built-in microphone. I've actually tried to actually use it for phone calls, for WhatsApp, for FaceTime, for Zoom, for Skype. I have to say that the person on the opposite side, they could barely hear me.
This is how your voice will sound like when you are using the Sony WH-1000XM3. This is how your voice will sound like when you're using the microphone on the Sony WH-1000XM3. This is how your voice will sound like when trying to use the headphone to talk when there's a wind. This is how your voice will sound like when you're trying to talk when there's wind. This is how your voice will sound like on the iPhone 12 mini. This is how your voice will sound like on the iPhone 12 mini.
Which is the reason why, in the end, because I actually use the XM3 headphones for work as well, so I decided to get a boom mic, it's a detachable boom mic from Amazon, right? It's not very expensive, okay? So this is part, it actually goes into my PC, and this is the part with the boom mic, and of course it has a filter over it, all right? It has a sponge, all right? It's a muffler. So this part actually goes into the headphone jack over here. So let me show you. So this is the headphone jack here. So it actually goes in, all right? And it's very snug. So this one is actually, you can bend it, okay? So you can move it, all right? All right, so yeah, so this actually improves the audio quality, the mic quality, because it has a standalone mic here that puts it near to my mouth. Yep, so I never have any issues with the microphone as well, when I attach an external boom mic to my headphone. I mean, if you want, I'll put the link below so that it's from Amazon, so that if you're interested, you can get it. Okay. I think it also comes with other options as well to work with, like the Bose or I think the Microsoft. I'll put the link below. You can check it out. It's not very expensive. Okay. Now, next, in terms of comfort, for me, being someone who actually wears this every single day, and the duration is I wear them for hours and hours. It's anywhere from like 5 to 10 hours a day when I'm working, like Mondays to Fridays. And I would have to say that these headphones are very, very comfortable. All right. Despite me mentioning earlier that the ear cups actually generate some heat around your ears, but it's not to the point whereby it is very unbearable. I mean, it's just slight heat. It means it's heat generated from your own body. It doesn't go like steaming hot. It's just a little bit. No, but it's not to the point of you get actually extremely uncomfortable. I mean, so I would say that these are actually very ideal. Okay, the XM3, they are very ideal for long rides or long flight, or you want to have long listening sessions. It's perfectly fine. Now, in terms of battery life, I would say is that the battery life of 30 hours is exactly the same as what Sony advertised. And in fact, the 30 hours is with ANC on. It's with ANC and Bluetooth on. Alright? And I actually managed to get, I think, 32 hours with ANC and Bluetooth on when I am actually listening to music at around 30%. I mean, if you ride it up to like 40 or 50%, I'm sure you can get around 30 hours with ANC and Bluetooth on. Alright, and when I actually switch off the ANC with Bluetooth on and audio at around 40%, I could get an additional 3 hours. So that means I'm getting like 30 to 32 hours with ANC and Bluetooth off, and around 33 to 34 hours with ANC off and on Bluetooth. Alright, so, and one more thing is that because I commute daily between work and home, so usually I would typically use this headphone for 2 hours a day. Of course, when I'm at work, it'll be in wired mode with ANC off, because I don't think there's a need to do that. I mean, I'm just using it for communication. I typically charge my headphone once every 2 weeks or 3 weeks. The last time I charged this, that was about almost 3 weeks ago, and it's actually still on, I think, the 50% battery life. Yeah, okay. So, in conclusion, for me, I absolutely love this pair of headphones, okay? And in fact, I've been recommending to some of my friends who are actually looking for, wireless headsets to use, for commuting. I always ask them, hey, you can check out the XM3s. They're not too expensive now, because the 4th generation is out. And they're looking for a nice pair of headphones, and it doesn't cost, it costs around $180 or 250 Sing, and either for themselves or as a gift. So like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, is the Sony XM3 headphone still worth to buy it in 2021, in this year, despite the XM4 is already out? My answer is definitely yes. Alright, it's a big yes. Right, especially if these are actually available for less than $150. Go ahead and get it. I mean, it's really very, very good. And of course, you may check out the Amazon link below, and get them, right? You may never know. Alright, so in the ending, alright, so there you have it. These are my thoughts on the Sony XM3 headphones, and whether are they still worth it to buy in 2021. So if you guys have enjoyed the video, okay, please smash the thumbs up button, and of course subscribe. Alright, it doesn't take less than 3 seconds to click the subscribe button, the thumbs up button. Alright, and so that you can actually get the latest notification on my upcoming videos and my upcoming reviews. So, and of course, please leave your thoughts for those of you who actually have any questions, you can give a small review or your own experience on the XM3 headphones. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to leave in the comment below. I'll do my best to actually answer them, because I've been using this as my daily for music, for movies, for for work for the past 7 months, and of course with many more months to go. I'll be delighted to get back to you. Alright, so anyway, that's all the time we have. My name is Johnny, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.